Are you struggling with overwhelm? Well, today I'm going to talk about this. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra special point for you then. Now, many times in my life, I've struggled with overwhelm. I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And it's just completely exhausting when you think about it. It gets your stress levels up and you just don't feel good, right? You feel anxious. I've had that in times for exams, or studying for exams, or learning subjects at school, like in jobs, starting a business, and in life, just generally as well. Now, the problem is in this day and age, we have so much information available that sometimes we do nothing. I've seen many people do this, get course after course and just do nothing. And I was stuck in that stage as well many times. And sometimes I have to call myself out of it. I'm like, oh, I'm just so overwhelmed. But I've got this, and this, and you've got like so much information coming in. And that's the thing. We're in an age where there's just more things coming at us left, right, and center. And therefore, our brains find it really hard to find a direction to go in. So I want to ask you this. How's it helping you just stay in that overwhelmed state? Well, if you're anything like me, it didn't do many favors. And I was definitely guilty of this. So let's go into some practical tips on how you can work through this. The first one, focus on what you want. Right? If you're just trying to do things, do your to-do list and go through things rather than knowing what direction you want to go in, well, that's only going to cause more overwhelm. If you can focus and narrow down actually what you want and then be able to direct your focus, that's going to help a lot. Now, for me, on this first point, there's 5 areas I look at. And that's my physical health, my emotional health. I'd probably say emotional first. Actually, it's the most important for me personally. Okay, emotional health, physical health, spiritual, what do I want in that in terms of growth and contribution, relationships, all types of relationships, and financially. What is it I want? What is it I want in those areas? And then the second question to ask yourself, what is one thing you can do in each of those areas? What's it going to be for you? All right. And then the third one, praise yourself when you're doing it. So just going back to the second one again, pick one thing. There's a great book called The One Thing by Gary Keller, and the concept is brilliant. Maybe do 1 to 3 things, but at least one, but don't overload yourself. In the 5 areas you want in life, what's one thing you can do each week or even each day, right? If it's like health, going to the gym once a week is probably not enough. So every day, the one thing you can do is go to the gym for 30 minutes and maybe just make it as simple as that. And therefore, that's going to reduce the amount of overwhelm. If it's your business, maybe one thing you can do is reach out to prospects every day, people who are interested, people you've networked with every single day. If it's relationship, maybe one thing you can do every day is just compliment 3 people you know every single day. And then when you do those things, praise yourself when you're doing them, because when you praise yourself, you're more likely to do more of it. So this is really narrowing down your focus rather than doing things you don't need to be doing. I want to give you a bonus tip though, which is really going to put it all together. So you've directed your focus on what you want and then picking one thing, which is really going to narrow it down. Now, in terms of day-to-day, right, you know that probably things are going to come up, like things that aren't that important, but sometimes you just have to do them, right? Like maybe just some like admin work or emails and stuff. I'm terrible with emails. I just don't answer them. I'm awful. I have lots of podcast agencies email me constantly, and I've got about 5,000 emails in my inbox right now. Don't hardly read them, but that's not important to me. Unless it's an important email from someone who genuinely wants some help, or it's like some kind of business thing, I don't tend to look at them. But sometimes things like emails or other things do just get you busy and you sometimes have to do them. So in your calendar, schedule time for like that one thing you want to do each day and the one thing you want to do each week. And also allow time in your calendar flexibility so that you can actually do the things you have to react to. I would suggest doing the proactive things early in the day and then the reactive things later in the day. So that's what I got for you today. My tips on overwhelm. So I appreciate you for being here. You're improving people's lives by being the best you. And remember, you are in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.